Bahamas 242, you know that's me. Here, we at the Sea Pines here in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. I'm meeting up here with these guys. They doing their thing big. Tales of Tera. And it's a good time to have a pleasure and meet you guys. Tales of Tera, we at Sea Pines. I'm from the Bahamas, but we riding here with the Tales of Tera.
Today we are at Hilton Head, South Carolina. This is a very famous vacation resort and it is quite pristine. So we're going to be walking around and showing you what we see. I hope you enjoy it. I already love the place because there are beautiful boats. I missed my Tera. Doppler radar is showing rain about 5:30 and it's going to be quite heavy. It is coming from southeast. And it's going to reach us about 4:35. The storm is coming towards us.
Looks like.
Right now there is nice sunshine, and we may have another half an hour or hour, and that's the most. And then we'll probably heading back to the car. Oh, I see a lightning.
But we are used to getting wet from Washington, D.C.
I remember that. You haven't. If you have not seen that scene, go ahead and check it out. We were wet like a rat.
Incorporated as a town in 1983, Hilton Head Island is home to more than 40,000 residents who live year-round and are renowned environmentally planned resort and residential communities. Yet much of the island remains as it was when sighted from William Hilton's ship more than 350 years ago. Over the centuries, Hilton Head Island's natural beauty, spectacular seascapes, unique ecology, and South Carolina historical sites have beckoned generations of explorers, with Native Americans, English, Spanish, French colonists, pirates, African Americans, and soldiers all leaving their footprints on the sands of South Carolina's treasured coast. And now is the time to leave your footprints in the sand, on Hilton Head Island.
People are already taking cover. We decided to go to the truck just in case. We don't want to relive Washington, D.C. And after the storm has passed, we'll come out.
Have you seen the back?
It's so dark. Look at that.
In 1698, the Lord Proprietors granted several islands and some of the Low Countries mainland to John Bailey. While the entire area was named Bailey's Barony, Hilton Head Island was referred to as Trench's Island in honor of Alexander Trench, Bailey's property agent and collector of land lease fees. John Barnwell became Hilton Head Island's first English settler in 1717 after receiving a grant of 1,000 acres in what is now Hilton Head Plantation. However, Hilton Head Island did not gain worldwide recognition until 1790 when another planter, William Elliot, successfully raised the first crop of long-staple Sea Island cotton. With the help of his neighbor, Will Seabrook, Elliot pioneered a new type of fertilizer for cotton, resulting in record crops and wide acclaim for the Sea Island cotton. By 1860, 24 plantations were in operation on Hilton Head Island. Although the main crop was cotton, indigo, sugar cane, rice, and other crops also were cultivated.
The Stony Baynard ruins were the center of Braddock's Point plantation. In the first half of the 18th century, Braddock's Point covered the southern end of present-day Sea Pines. Captain John Saucy Jack Stone built the main house between 1793 and 1810. His sons, James and John, inherited the dwelling, its outbuildings, slaves, and approximately 1,200 acres in 1811. The plantation produced highly valued Sea Island cotton. Remember I told you, that certain areas here were cotton, the other areas were tobacco. In 1837, a few years after his brother's death, John Stoney declared bankruptcy and sold the property to the Bank of Charleston. My goodness. All this property was sold to the bank. William Eddings Baynard, an Edison Island, South Carolina planter, acquired Braddock's Point plantation from the bank in 1845. Part of the Civil War was that the North had banned slavery and the South needed the slaves, a free worker. So that was actually the main conflict between North and the South. With Union troops invaded Hilton Head Island on November 7, 1861, the federal government seized the property. Shortly after the war, the main house was destroyed by fire. Other structures were salvaged for building materials. Baynard's heirs bought back most of the holding in 1875. In 1966, Sea Pines founder Charles Frazier established this 9-acre site as permanent open space. The concrete is made out of sea sand and it's full of seashells, and you can see that on the crumbling walls. This was the domestic slave quarters. Those slaves who came from the Caribbean were housed here nearby the plantation. The slaves that lived here took care of the needs of the house. A small slave quarters. Before the Civil War, 2 families of slaves lived in a 336 square foot wooden dwelling built upon these footings. The domestic slaves looked after the plantation home. The double-panned quarters had 2 separate rooms, each housing 1 family. Indentation in the center of the foundation shows that a structure was hastily erected on the abbey.
Due to the land's low elevation and hot summers, the wealthy landowners spent little time on the island, opting to locate their beautiful townhouses in less tropical environments on the mainland.
We were walking around and we ran into a very lovely lady who lives in Hilton Head, and her name is Beth. She actually lives right around the corner from where we were. She has given us a lot of nice tips and had a lovely chat. So I hope you watch this. We'll be remembering you. Take care of yourself, Beth. Oh, the mermaid. Wow. You are my mermaid. As we were watching for the mermaid, there was a huge pondfish, but it's probably what, 50 pounds?
Yeah,
it was huge.
Probably,
Yeah, you're probably gonna see part of it, but you're not gonna be able to tell how big it is. But I tell you, it's big. The mermaid reminded us the mermaid in Otlukkoyu down on the Aegean coast.
Yeah, 3 years ago we went to Otlukkoyu.
Sadım Bora is one of the very famous Turkish sailors that just went around the world, actually made a lot of young people love sailing. He used to keep his boat there, and he recently passed away. May his soul rest in peace.